Sandy asks the question today on You Ask, I Answer. How often should I report and adjust my campaign? Well, you should report your campaign on whenever your stakeholders tell you to. That's pretty straightforward. If your boss says, I want to report every week, you give him a report every week, or you give her a report every week. In terms of adjusting a campaign, it depends on the segmentation of the campaign. So most marketers have something that looks like an operations funnel. So awareness, engagement, evaluation, consideration, evaluation, purchase. And that goes for B2B, B2C, no matter what. You should be pivoting based on the mechanism that you're using and the result that that mechanism spits out. So if, for example, you are measuring the entirety of your sales and marketing process, however long that entire sales cycle is, that's the minimum time you should use before pivoting. So if you have a 7-day sales cycle from, say you sell iPhone cases, then if you are trying to measure the effectiveness of the entire process, you want to wait that full cycle to see how it's going. Pivoting your entire strategy would be a poor choice in anything less than the time it takes for the strategy to execute. If the strategy is a short strategy, meaning like you have a very transactional relationship with your customers, you might even want to wait 2 cycles. However, if you have a longer sales cycle or you have a very limited scope in what you do, like let's say you run just Facebook ads and your output from those Facebook ads is only website traffic, you don't have responsibility for anything else, then whatever that window is, that's the period that you measure, and then that's also the period less than which I would be hesitant to pivot on without having some time. So if from awareness to click through to the website, that's on a Facebook ad, that's 2 days in your analytics, then your reporting period should be about that, and also your pivoting period should be about that. So I wouldn't change your strategy in less than 2 days if those are your goals. If your goal is form fills, and you're using Facebook ads, then and say it's 5 days, and your pivoting period is no less than 5 days. The exception to this rule is that when you're looking at your data, if something is clearly wrong, is clearly not working correctly, then use common sense and say, we're not going to do that. We're gonna turn that off and do something different instead. So there is an element of common sense to it as well. But whatever period you have responsibility for, that is the window that you should be reporting in, and that is the adjustment time, the minimum adjustment time. If you can wait a little bit longer, up to 2 cycles, depending on what you do, that might be better. The other exception is if you have a super long sales cycle, like say you sell Gulfstream airplanes and you sell one every 5 years as a private dealer, because your business is such that you only need to sell one every 5 years to make bank. In that case, you're definitely going to need to segment up by those little pieces. And even in those pieces, if nurturing a lead takes you 3 years of consistent stuff, then you at least want to measure the interim steps. So let's say you have a buyer and they buy every 7 years, like a real estate agent. Your measurement should be the interim activities that lead to that re-engagement. So if you're sending out a monthly newsletter, then you want to obviously validate and track the performance of every newsletter. If you're publishing content on social media, you want to validate the performance of that social media, at least to interim goals that lead up to the final outcome. The other thing that's really important to do here is using analytics technology and using attribution analysis to determine what metrics to measure, especially if you have a longer sales cycle and you have less urgency in your day. You need to run these forms of attribution analysis so that you know what to focus on and what to report on and what not to. That's something my company does, is we use machine learning based attribution analysis, because sometimes particularly in digital marketing, we have so many different things to measure. It's difficult to understand which ones are important, which ones are not. So it's an important thing to take into account. Some tools like Google Analytics Attribution 360, does that really well. It's a great tool. It's $250,000 a year, and the reason why is because it's a very, very thorough tool. It will do probably, I would say, best in class attribution analysis for digital marketing, but you pay for it. So, very long answer to how often should you report and adjust your campaign. One other thing I would say on reporting is that regardless of when your boss is asking for answers, you as the marketer should have a dashboard that you can check on any time of day. I would recommend tools like Google Data Studio, Tableau, Watson Analytics, Sife, all these different dashboards that bring in multiple data sources and allow you to visualize it very easily. Have those handy. Have those running on a display or a TV or something in your lobby or in your office that at any given time you can look at, because you do want to be able to see anomalies. I personally love to have the Google Analytics real-time dashboard up on like my iPad, my desk. It's not super important, but it's always there. I can always glance up and go, hey, what's going on the website right now? Or did somebody mention my blog on social media, and I'm seeing a lot more traffic? It's a good thing to have handy. So that's how often you should report and adjust your marketing campaigns. Thanks for asking, Sandie. Sandie sent a huge list of questions, so we're going to go through these. If you have questions that you want answers to, fill out the form. You ask, I'll answer, and we'll publish it and let you know how to find it. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the newsletter. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.